Hello everyone, it's Holly, and I'm here today to talk about Arches National Park in Moab, Utah. This place is beautiful and definitely worth visiting. There is so much to see and do there. All of the amazing rock formations and the spectacular arches. We recently visited there and had a wonderful time. And I'm here today to talk about things to do at Arches with kids, because what are the kid-friendly activities and the doable hikes that you can do with your little ones there? I wanted to share with you all the fun things that my kids enjoyed when we visited, and hopefully this will help you in planning for your trip to taking your young ones. Stay tuned. Right before you get into the park, it's always great to get a photo by the sign. And then once you enter the park, the first thing you'll see is the visitor center. I always like checking out national parks visitor centers because I always find that national parks visitor centers are super helpful in understanding more about the park, getting additional information, and there are people there that can help guide you and answer any additional questions you may have. At this visitor center, there was plenty to read up on, as well as some hands-on stuff that was cool for the kids. I always love when my kids can learn at these places, and that is why stopping by I think is always a fun thing to do with kids. You never know what these visitor centers are going to offer. This visitor center wasn't huge, but I still think it was interesting, and it got us excited about our upcoming day at the park. There's also a good-sized gift shop here if you want to get a souvenir. There is a water filling station as well as clean bathrooms. Now, they do not sell any food in this entire national park, so you will want to pack all of your own food. Make sure you have your meals packed as well as plenty of snacks. The first thing that I recommend anyone do if they're going to visit Arches is go straight to Delicate Arch Trail, because this is the arch you are going to want to see if you're going to go all the way to Arches National Park. This is the famous arch that you see on all of the Utah license plates. Now, the hike itself is 3.2 miles round trip, and you'll want to give yourself about 2 to 3 hours. It all depends on your level of hiking and your kids' level. The hike is considered moderate, and as far as taking young kids on this hike, we took our youngest, who was 6 at the time, and she did fine. I did in fact see even younger kids on the hike, so it is doable to do. You just have to prepare yourself. Make sure you pack plenty of water and plenty of snacks, because you'll want to get refueled throughout the hike. I don't believe it is a very strenuous hike. It gradually goes uphill. Once you finally reach Delicate Arch, you will see just how incredibly impressive this arch is. My video or any video out there will not do justice to the beauty and magnitude of this arch. You have to see it in person, and hopefully your kids will also appreciate it once they get there. One thing I do want to warn if you bring your kids there is the fact that there is a lot of drop-offs there. You could see that the sides slope down. You really just need to keep your kids close to you. If they're little and they tend to wander off, I would say take extra caution. I didn't see any accidents when we were there, but it is something to keep in mind when you bring little ones there. When you are at the arch, I recommend just staying for a while and taking it in. You hiked all the way over there. You don't want to just see it, take a picture, and leave. It really is worth taking in the beauty while you are there and enjoying it.
Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Back close to the trailhead, there is some hieroglyphics that are neat to check out, as well as an old homestead where you can peek in the windows. Now, if you absolutely cannot do the 3-mile round trip to get close to Delicate Arch, there is another viewpoint, a hike that is only a mile long, and it is a fairly easy hike to do. However, it's not going to be as spectacular. You can see here how small it is in the background. There it is, way back there. It's not going to be as impressive as getting up close to Delicate Arch. But if you just want a chance to see it and can't do the long hike, that is another option to do. As well, there is a walk up only 200 feet from the parking lot, and you could see the arch there. Of course, it gets even smaller. Again, it is still an option. The next place I recommend going to is the Devil's Garden Trail. The Devil's Garden itself is going to be a pretty long hike. I don't recommend it for kids. It is over 9 miles round trip. Depending upon the hiking level of your kids, you might be able to do it. We, however, did not go that far, but we went to that trail because there is a lot to see there. And the hike itself is gorgeous, a lot of beautiful rock formations along the way, and there is a lot of arches you can go and see in that area. I recommend going to Devil's Garden Trail and hiking in there with your kids to see some of the arches that are not going to be as far of a hike for them to do. The furthest we hiked in was to see Landscape Arch. That hike is 1.8 miles round trip from the parking lot. We felt that the hike was very doable for our kids, and of course it was fun to see all the stuff along the way. But definitely worth checking out Landscape Arch. It is so impressive. Now, while my kids and any kids might not be so impressed with all of the arches and natural beauty inside this park, kids will, however, enjoy all of the fun rocks that they can climb on and just all the cave-like areas they can explore around. I know that that was a highlight for my kids, being out in that area that was very unique. This next stop, I believe, is the best place to take kids when visiting arches, and that is the Sand Dune Arch. It is so easy to get to from the parking lot, which makes it perfect for taking little kids. It's not going to be a long hike. Now, this whole area is just incredible to walk through. It's very cave-like. The arch itself is only 0.4 miles away from the parking lot, and you can see that this area is just a lot of fun, a lot of cool rocks to climb up on, and the sand is so soft there. If the weather is warm enough, I've heard that kids love to take off their shoes and walk around the sand. It was a bit chilly to do it the day we went, but I definitely would have if it was warmer out. But there's a lot of great places to explore there, as well as some fun little caves the kids love to crawl into. It is a great area to take your kids without taking them on a long hike. The last area I recommend going to see with kids is the windows section. There's a lot of shorter hikes you can do in there to see some of the arches, but the one that I think is worth seeing is going to be Double Arch. Double Arch is only 0.6 miles round trip from the parking lot. It is a flat trail that leads to the base of two giant arch spans that are joined at one end. Double Arch is very impressive, and if you are a fan of the Indiana Jones movies, you will remember that this is the opening scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So it is fun to go to Double Arch and see this spectacular area in person. It is really a neat area to go through, and my kids had a lot of fun there climbing all over the rocks. It can get steep inside of Double Arch. So again, if you have really small kids, you'll want to keep them close to you so they don't slip over the side or anything like that. But it was an easy area to get to from the parking lot, and that is why I think this arch is definitely worth going to with kids. Last stop that I would suggest is the Bounce Rock area. Bounce Rock is 0.3 miles from the parking lot. It's a loop trail at the base of a fragile, picturesque rock formation, and part of the trail is paved. It is neat to walk around there. Again, very easy to do. So if you feel like your kids can't handle any more hiking, this area is easy to get to, and they can have a lot of fun there just climbing all over the rocks. Just like all of the beautiful arches in the park, this area is gorgeous, a lot of beauty to take in overall. If you are a collector of pressed pennies like we are, there is unfortunately no pressed penny machines inside of Arches National Park. However, there are pressed penny machines in the town of Moab. There is one at the store, simply Moab, that has several different designs. There is also a machine at Desert Dreams that has one design of Arches National Park. However, the best machine was at the t-shirt shop. The machine had the best designs and worked the best pressing the pennies. Well, that concludes my share on taking kids to Arches National Park. I really hope that this helped you in making your plans to visit Arches with your kids, to show you that there is a lot of things you can do there, a lot of hikes you can do there that aren't too difficult or strenuous to take them on. Also, we did Arches in a day, so if you only have one day at Arches, know that you can cover a lot in one day. If you enjoyed this video or got anything out of it, please hit the like button. I appreciate you watching, and may you have a beautiful day.